Today I continue reading the book Teachings on Love by Thầy Thích Nhất Hạnh for chapter 12, Sangha Community. It is difficult, if not impossible, to practice the way of understanding and love without a Sangha, a community of friends who practice the same way. In my country, we say that if a tiger comes down from the mountain, he will be caught by humans and killed. Practicing without a Sangha is like that. A society has so much momentum in the direction of forgetfulness that we need the support of friends to help us keep in touch with our deepest desire to love and help all beings. You may think that happiness is possible only in the future, but if you learn to stop running, you will see that there are more than enough conditions for you to be happy right now. The only moment for us to be alive in is the present moment. The past is already gone and the future is not yet here. Only in the present moment can we touch life and be deeply alive. Our true home is in the here and the now. This is not difficult to understand. We only need some training to be able to do it. Practicing mindful breathing, coming back to the present moment, we can live deeply this moment and touch the wonders of life, the joy and peace that are available in the present moment. We cannot practice deep looking unless we stop running and begin to dwell in the present moment. We do not need to run into the future to have happiness. The kingdom of God is available here and now. We can realize this during sitting meditation, walking meditation, and sharing a meal together. We go back to the present moment and dwell there deeply. And as we train ourselves to do this, we begin to see things more deeply. There is suffering in the present moment, but there is also peace, stability, and freedom. With peace in our hearts, happiness is possible. Every kind of practice should offer us more peace, stability, and freedom. These are essential for our happiness. We have to look with our Shanghai eyes to know what to do and what not to do to be of help. We cannot be by ourselves alone. We can only intervene with everyone else, including our ancestors and future generations. Our self is made only of non-self elements. Our sorrow and suffering, our joy and peace have their roots in society, nature, and those with whom we live. When we practice mindful living and deep looking, we see the truth of interbeing. I hope that Sanghas, communities of practice, will organize themselves as healthy families. We need to create environments where people can succeed in the practice. Interpersonal relationships are the key. With the support of even one person, you develop stability and later you can reach out to others, aware that we are seeking love. Sangha members will treat us in a way that helps us get rooted in a spiritual family. We have a second chance to get rooted. One 14-year-old boy who practices at Plum Village told me the story. He said that every time he fell down and hurt himself, his father would shout at him. The boy vowed that when he grew up, he would not act that way. But one time, his little sister was playing with other children and she fell off a swing and scraped her knee, and the boy became very angry. His sister's knee was bleeding, and he wanted to shout at her. How can you be so stupid? Why did you do that? But he caught himself. Because he had been practicing breathing and mindfulness, he was able to recognize his anger and not act on it. He saw that the seeds of his father's anger must have been transmitted by his grandparents. This was a remarkable insight for a 14-year-old boy. Because he had been practicing, he could see clearly like that. By making peace with our parents in us, we have a chance to make real peace with our real parents. We should live our daily lives so that there is beginning anew in every minute. If everyone practices There is hope for the future. Look deeply to make renewal possible. Sangha building is the most important art for us to learn. Even if we are a skilled meditator and well versed in the sutras, if we don't know how to build a Sangha, we cannot help others. We have to build a Sangha that is happy, where communication is open. We have to take care of each person, staying aware of his pain, her difficulties, his aspirations, her fears and hopes in order to make him or her comfortable and happy. This requires time, energy, and concentration. Each of us needs a Sangha. If we don't have a good Sangha yet, we should spend our time and energy building one. To build a Sangha, begin by finding one friend who would like to join you in sitting or walking meditation, preset recitation, tea meditation, or discussion. Eventually, others will ask to join, and the small group can meet quickly or monthly at someone's home. Some sanghas even find land and move to the countryside to start a retreat center. Of course, your sangha is also includes the trees, the birds, the meditation cushion, the bell, and even the air you breathe. All the things that support you in the practice. It is a rare opportunity to be with people who practice deeply together. The sangha is a chain. The principle is to organize in a way that is more enjoyable for everyone. You will never find a perfect Sangha. An imperfect Sangha is good enough. Rather than complain too much about your Sangha, do your best to transform yourself into a good element of the Sangha. Accept that Sangha and build on it. Of course, our Sanghas have shortcomings. There are things around that should be improved, but the main purpose of Sangha is to practice mindfulness, to practice being more open, tolerant, and loving. This practice will bring happiness to ourselves and to the people around us. To bring peace, happiness, and tolerance to our families, we have to practice peace, joy, and happiness with our Sangha. To create a good community, we first have to transform ourselves into a good element of the community. After that, we can go to another person and help him or her become an element of the community. We build our network of friends that way. We have to think of friends and community as investments, as our most important asset. They can comfort us and help us in difficult times, and they can share our joy and happiness. Even if we have a lot of money in a bank, we can die very easily from our suffering. Investing in a friend, making a friend into a real friend, building a community of friends is much better source of security. Do not be afraid to love. Without love, life is impossible. We have to learn the art of loving. Love by the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you eat. Learn to love yourself and others properly. That's it for today.